What's up, guys? Beastanko6, another cartoon video here for you. Today we're going to talk about stalking, what it is, and how it can help you tremendously in your Silent Hunter game. I know it's a cartoon video. I know you guys don't. Some of you guys like it, some of you don't. It's just easier to do a theory video like this instead of setting up all of my game and getting that perfect setup. To the left here we have a U-boat. We have our target. This is a mess of a ship. All right. Let me clear this up a little bit, and for point of reference, everybody's going to the left. All right, even the mast of the ship is going to the left. All right, so just so you know, you're going to be using your UZO a lot. To me, this is where the UZO shines as an instrument. I use it for this purpose all the time. So what is stalking? Stalking is I see a boat and I'm going to turn my U-boat to follow it the best that I can. I don't have any information. I don't know what the AOB is. I may not be close enough to even get that information, because if you do this right, the mast of the ship should only just be above the horizon. So you may not have any course just by viewing it. All right. So I'm stalking it the best I can. I'm following it. Here is what I'm going to do next. If it's daytime, I definitely want this mast to be at the horizon. I don't want it to spot me. If it's nighttime, I have a few more liberties than usual to go ahead and get a little bit closer. But whatever you do, you need to remain consistent. You can't go around changing your distance all the time. You have to try to find as much consistency as possible. All right, so this mast is going to be the secret to stalking. One of two things are going to happen. Either A, the mast is going to get bigger or smaller, depending on if you're getting closer or further away. All right, if that happens, you want to make incremental changes. All right, kind of like a flight simulator. For me, I make 10 to 15 degree changes. So if it's getting bigger, I'm getting too close, I might turn away from it 10 or 15 degrees. Don't do too much changes. You want to just see where it is. You want to see if it's going to get bigger or smaller. You might turn 10, 15 degrees and the mast just stays the same, which means that you need to go a little bit further, right? And just to mind you, just for your information, just for your own personal information, I don't go past TC8 when I'm stalking a boat, all right? Trust me when I tell you this. When you get good at stalking, you're not going to be doing this for hours. Maybe 1 hour, 2 hour of game time, and you're going to have the information you need once you get better. All right, so the mast is either getting bigger or smaller. You make the small changes as you need to. Now, the next thing you need to do is, well, what if the mast is moving left or right? Well, in order to tell that, first of all, you have to set up your UZO. So, as I was saying earlier, you have your UZO on your U-boat. I don't know if I said that to you earlier, but anyway, you want the crosshair to be on the mast. This is your point of reference, all right? So if you're going along and let's say the mast isn't changing shape, you kind of have the idea of the course, and all of a sudden you see this, and we know it's going this direction, I know I'm going too fast, okay? I need to slow down. 1 or 2 knots, okay? You don't want to go any further than 1 or 2 knots. Again, we're doing slow changes here. Think of a flight simulator. We want to see what it's going to do. I might change 2 knots and go slower, and the mast stays exactly where it's at. All right, so without moving my UZO, I might want to slow down and then try to get the UZO mark back to where it was and then speed up again, right? You can move your UZO if you want, but the thing is that I'm trying to figure out some serious information. So I would rather leave my UZO at whatever bearing and just move it to the mast. So if it requires me slowing down, speeding up, or turning left or turning right, that's what I'm going to do. All right. If you're following, now some of you guys will be like, well, why don't you just use your report nearest visual contact? You could do that. Reporting nearest visual contact will give you a lot of good information. But if you're stalking a convoy, you're going to have a whole ton of these little red pills all over the map. And the worst ones of all is a destroyer. And if you report nearest visual contact, most likely you're going to get one of these guys, and this is what he's doing on the map. He's going back, forth, he's doing patterns, he's changing patterns and speeds because he's looking for you. All right, he's looking for possible U-boats. So that's a terrible idea. If it's just one ship, just one solitary ship right here, cool. Then you could do that and you got your information. All right. If you're stalking a convoy, most likely what you need to do is, if you have several ships, obviously, you're going to probably end up stalking the closest small little crappy freighter, all right? Just for your own information. All right, let me get rid of some of this. All right. So now that we have the information, we've been following the ships. We have a basic course. We have a basic direction, speed. Now we have to do what's called overhauling. In the U-Boat Commander's Handbook, it's called overhauling, where you take your ship and you're moving forward and a beam, which means you're ahead of the target ship and to the left or to the right. And now you can turn around and you can do your little attack. All right. I hope this video helps. I hope it gives you a little idea of how to stalk. Stalking is great because it allows you to kind of throw away the math and the tools temporarily to get some rudimentary information, as well as sticking with that convoy or that ship without losing it in the distance, right? It was an actual tactic that they used all the time. It was actually what they used, when the wolf packs were formed. You'd have the stalking ship, and you'd have to do this if you're going to call in the wolf packs. Early war in Silent Hunter 5, you will not get wolf packs most days. Mid-war, late war, you will get the U-boat wolf packs. So stalking is something you really need to learn to do. And just remember, keep the masts at the horizon. Also, at night, bad weather, you have a little bit more liberties. And late war, if you have like escort carriers and planes are everywhere, don't be afraid to dive. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's what they did. They dive, they get back up, and then they start flank speeding and trying to get ahead again. I hope this video helps you guys. Let me know what you thought.